Question number 3, all relationships take work. What can you do this week to show your significant other that you're willing to work at your relationship? No relationship will work by itself. If you want your relationship to work, you begin first of all spiritually. Anybody, anywhere you see someone say, I'm enjoying my relationship, let the person sit down and tell you what he tolerated. Let the person sit down and tell you some of the things, some of the times that he was supposed to talk, that she was supposed to, or he just did. As if you see husband and wife wear ashwebi, maybe the two of them wore jeans and talking and wore the same shirt and wore the same canvas and they're smiling at each other. It's not all the time that it is sweet like that. Oh. Sometimes we're trying to cover something, but some other time they have walked through a process. Relationship takes work. What will you put in your relationship? What work will you do? There are some times you have to eat nonsense for the relationship to work. There are some times you just allow what do other people call us say, they do this thing to you. If they do this thing to me, I'm not agree. I'm not agree. If anybody try this, I'm going to finish the person. Nah, lie. Just let God put a camera in the person's house. This thing, they are doing worse than that. He hasn't said anything. Relationship takes work. So which means you don't come into relationship broken. You come into relationship healthy. If you come into relationship broken and someone is broken, the person will break you into pieces. If you come into relationship healthy, let me explain to you something about inner healing to you. When you go to inner healing, we're not saying that someone will not hurt you again. We're saying that when the person hurts you, your reaction to the person will be different. You understand that this person who is doing this thing to me is sick. And because this person is sick, I will have sympathy. So you have a change of perspective. And you have ability to understand people from another level. People have gone through things. So relationship is hard work. Let's begin from the first hard work of relationship. For God so loved the world that he gave. It's taken for granted that if Jesus came to this world, all of us will see him clap and say, oh, Son of God, we receive you. Oh, the Father has sent you to us, we receive you. Did we receive him? We didn't receive him. We even killed him. We beat him, flogged him thoroughly, killed him. He died. We just want to be sure that he's dead. We buried him. He resurrected and he still came back for us. That's hard work of relationship. And you are here to be like the Father. Look at your neighbor and say, are you willing to grow relationship? I didn't say fantasy. Stop watching a movie and then think it's relationship. So for say, I like Oyibo, they sabi play love well. How many do you know? How many do you know personally? How many have you lived in their home with them? Then you say, based on this, Oyibo sabi play love well. Say, black man, he knows sabi play love. Oyibo, he sabi play love. This is a script someone wrote and you watch it and you say, ew. Action. It's time to ask God to give us endurance at working our relationships. Especially those of us who are married. You have to walk it. Friends, nobody told me that the road will be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. You have to walk it. If two of us are willing to walk our relationship, we can redeem it. If we're willing to work on our connection, trusting God. Not I'm walking, you are not walking. If I'm walking the relationship, you're not working on the relationship, after some time I'll be exhausted. And when I'm exhausted, the thing will drop. So relationship is in the hands of two people. There is one you should bring. There is one I should bring. Listen, your husband has weakness. Your wife has strength. Your wife has weakness. You have strength. All of us must learn how to staff around each other's weakness and strength. That's the work of relationship. Number 5, dating for, read with me, will help you get past simple infatuation and get to know one another better. How long have you been dating your significant other? What ways have you gotten to know each other more than during that time? If you start relationship they sweet. Very sweet. You'll be hearing, I love you. I love you too. Am I talking to someone? Relationship, if you start relationship, you are blind to all the person's faults. No, don't kill yourself. It's normal because it starts first of all with simple infatuation. You must allow yourself to cool down. You must allow yourself. You don't say, oh, the thing sweet me. You just jump. When you jump, you may be jumping inside hot fire. Allow the chemical reaction, the thing that is holding you, allow it to calm down. Let it calm down. Just endure. Endure for the thing to calm down. And how do you endure? Listen, there are simple things you can do to make life better for yourself. If relationship is what you're going to do all your life, and you see that the thing is pushing you, go. Mercy, go. Mercy, Clement is calling you. Mercy, go. Use yourself, say, Mercy, I'm going back. I'm going back. I will answer him later. Why are you doing that? You are doing that to give yourself time to be able to think, to be able to pray, to be able to ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, once someone is in love, I don't give the person counsel. Because if I give you counsel, you hear something else like you saw yesterday. They were telling someone's story, the person heard something else. And you go back and tell the person, I made up my mind to marry you. He's my pastor. I'm sure my pastor was planning that he will marry your house. That pastor, okay, I've always, the way he used to talk, I have left the church. Once someone is in love, you can't give the person counsel. You know what I'm saying? If anything, the person hears something else. You must give yourself time. This person that is around me, who are his friends? This person that is around me, what is his culture? What are his values? What are his ideas? What are his opinions? And you ask him, hey, sweetheart, I tell you a relationship meeting today. Pastor K said we should ask you about your opinions. Please, what are your opinions? Am I still your friend? Not only even in the relationship of dating, of marriage, even relationship with people that you're doing life with. I need to know, listen, it's not all of us that are going to church are in church. Some of us are going to church, some are going into church. Those two things are not the same. I need to find out what are your opinions. They say we have 12 cultures. They say, I don't care about these cultures. I don't care about it. I don't care. So I'm an Igbo man. I don't care about this. You already know where this person is going. Red lights need to be dealt with, even if it means the death of relationship. Ask yourself honestly, are there any red lights in your relationship? Any relationship now is easier and less hurtful than a marriage and divorce. For those of us who are women, I don't know how we deal with red lights. Because especially when a boy is very sweet and he has very sweet tongue, and he makes a mistake and has some kind of romantic voice, even if he wore it. And then he has a way of dressing well. And then his shoe, when you see him, comes out like this, na bobo. And they say, let the relationship die. Listen, some of the things that show up eventually in our marriages, we actually saw them during dating. But you know what we did? We winked. We winked and they said, he will change. What are you going to do to change the person? Okay, so when you come out and they say, Ben, are you willing to take K as your nini till death do you part? And I said, yes, I'm willing. So the moment he puts the ring in my hand, Cinderella will happen. Piam. My mind that is thinking like Ugrim but no mind will automatically change. The marriage does not have the quality and the capacity to make the change. So anything you accept, you better accept it, bata, and now start asking God, please help me with this thing. Don't marry and say the person will eventually change. We are praying about it. And listen, no pastor in this church will tell you to divorce your husband. We will always leave it at your choice. We'll give you advice, and then we'll leave it at your choice. Say, my husband beat me today. He was beating me on the head. Now he beat me uppercut. I say, my dear, you know that. Go and find out what God is telling you about the marriage. Action. Take time together now to pray and ask God to help you see your relationship clearly, including any potential red flags or any places where tension may arise for those of us who are single. What boundaries do you put in place to protect yourself from sexual temptation for those of us who are not married? The whole of February last year, we talked about, 6 or 7 act play. And it was about how to start from dating and then get to the end. You need to get the message and listen to it again. So I don't need to overflog this one. Sex is overrated. Everything is about sex. So I don't, in fact, now people don't say they sin when they have sex. So you must put appropriate boundaries. When the fire is burning, don't ask yourself, how close can I get for the fire to burn me? Don't ask yourself. It's a very wrong question. He said, let me wait. Let the boy stand well. When he stand well, no. When the fire, don't wait for the fire to start. So give yourself appropriate distance so that the fire will not burn you. Action. Pray and ask God to help you focus on getting to know the person you are dating and ask for his help in saving the sexual part of the relationship before it starts. Distance complicates growing the relationship. But if you use the right tools, you can have a healthy long-distance relationship. Whether or not you're in a long-distance relationship, what are the 5 things you can do to communicate better with your significant other? If your husband is not in Nigeria, or your husband does the kind of work, he has to be around this week, and then the other week he's not around, or your husband has a kind of work where he has to continuously travel. It means you must devise healthy tools to be able to keep communication. And technology has made it easier for us. If you're not using email, you are using social media. If you're not using social media, you are using video calls. If you're not using video calls, you are using, except your husband is in the Unigri manor where there is no this thing. But even that, you can climb on top of the tree and say, if you love something, you hold phone like this, you want to talk to your wife, you have not gone to see network, you move around like this. Say, I can hear you, you move again. If they say climb on top of tree, you look for someone that will help you so that you can keep the communication. And if it is someone who is not married, before you marry, find a way for 2 of you to be around the same city. Except the Spirit of the Lord expressly opens something to you. Listen, there is nothing as terrible as a root shock, where you assume that this person is like this, and then you discover that he's like this. You can't have all the pictures, but you don't need a root shock in your life. Do you know, if we are staying apart, I can be Queen Eliza. Everything I'm doing is telephone talk. And telephone talk is sweet talk. Hello, baby. I'm fine. How are you doing? Have you eaten? What did you eat? Oh, you sound so tired. Why don't you lie down? Meanwhile, behind this beautiful voice is a Jezebel in making. We need to